Welcome to another episode of Sweet 915. I'm your host, Curtis Smith. Miss Fedora can't be with us today, but we still love you. Hey, Fedora, how you doing? Hey, listen, happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone out there. It's March Madness. Get ready, get ready, get ready. South Carolina, we're going to take it all. But we have a special guest today, Miss Kimberly Burnell. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. Hey, listen, we're open to discussion. So if you want to chime in while we're on live, please do so. And we'll try to get to your questions, comments that you may have. So, hey, this is a good topic today. We're going to talk about generational relationships. So we've got a lot of questions today we're going to talk about. But first and foremost, we want her to tell us a little bit about herself.
All right. Well, I am from Columbia, South Carolina. I am a Army veteran, and I am currently completing my PhD.
Outstanding. How was that journey?
Oh, long, and I will never do it again.
You'll never do it again?
Never.
No
Can't pay me.
That's it? Can't pay you?
Can't pay me.
Good stuff. So we're going to get right into the questions because
Okay.
we know we're going to have a lot of comments about this generational relationship and dating thing. So, in the era of expanding social media, do you believe it's shaping generational dating positively or negatively?
I think overall, social media is negatively shaping different components of our lives to include relationships.
Sure.
And many studies have shown that that social media has increased the number of people with depression, anxiety, loneliness, and those with suicidal ideations.
Mm-hmm.
And I think social media will pinpoint certain things about relationships, making it an all or nothing type scenario, without taking different factors into consideration.
Okay. Is it socially acceptable for a man to foot the bill at a restaurant solely based on his financial capability?
Absolutely not.
I like that answer. That's a good answer.
But I guess it depends on a couple things. Like, number one, did he ask the female out? And number two, what type of female did he ask out? Right. Because it's based upon the mentality of the female.
Right.
Unfortunately, we do have some females that are out for getting a free meal or what they can get from men versus, just genuinely wanting to go out and get to know somebody.
So I think it was TikTok or Instagram, I've seen certain situations whereas the girlfriend broke up with the boyfriend because they were on a date and she invited four of her other friends and they ran up this bill and tried to walk out and was like, yo, he got it. And he was like, no, I'm not paying for y'all meal. So what happened was she got mad and walked him outside. Like, why can't you pay the bill? And this is all on Instagram or was it TikTok? One of their. And when I say that, it was a hot topic. So it kind of spurred a conversation. Whereas they were like, should he have paid for it? And you're saying no, but there are some women that says yes. If he was capable of paying the bill, he should have paid it. But like you said, I invited you. I didn't invite all your four friends, and then they're eating and drinking like there's no tomorrow, and then trying to walk out on the bill and talking about this one check, and then fussing at him about why can't he pay it? He's like, I'm not paying for y'all. Pay for yourself. So I'm glad you cleared that up.
Well, I think it's audacious and disrespectful for a woman to go out and think that, because number one, his capabilities and my intent are two different things. Right. So if my intent is to go out with someone that I want to get to know better, that I want to see if we, if there's going to be any connection between us, what he's capable of in terms of dinner shouldn't matter. Right. And I shouldn't expect him to pay for me and all my friends. Rule of thumb for a female, just my personal opinion. Okay. If you're going to go out with somebody, regardless of who it is, you need to always be prepared to be able to take care of your own bill, because you don't know what situation might arise. Again, he might really forget his wallet at home or something. It's such a rush to get out the house. or some other issue come up, and you should be prepared to be able to handle things.
And that's in terms of the friends that showed up that thought that he had the bill.
I don't know what kind of friends these are, but again, it goes back to what kind of women are the men dating,
right,
that think that it's acceptable that just because a man is capable, I'm going to have him pay for me, for my friends. I'm going to ask for this. I'm going to ask for that, and try to be all up in his wallet instead of getting to know him better.
Makes sense. What is your stance on someone, whether it be a woman or a man, requesting a to-go meal for themselves or their children on the first dates?
I think that's a little much, just personally.
Yeah.
I mean, if you feel the need to get that
Mm-hmm.
on a first date, definitely be willing to pay for it. You should not expect someone else to be responsible for that.
Yeah. So once again, I think what you're saying, but I want you to elaborate a little bit about this real quick. This is the second TikTok or Instagram vehicle, article I'm referring to, where I was like, no, I'd have been like, well, no, I agree with the guy. But some of the women on the Instagram in the comments said, why he can't buy an extra meal for her to go for her kid. I'm agreeing with him. I invited you out for dinner. We don't have any kids sitting at this table. Now, if the kids was there, that's different. But the kids at home with the babysitter or whoever you left the child with, and you're asking me, you're telling the waiter, you didn't ask me, you just told the waiter, oh yeah, let me get a to-go meal and add it to the tab. So once again, like you're saying,
has this personally happened to you? Because I feel like
I watched the TikTok video and I saw it. Now, if we were out on a date and you didn't eat all of your food and said, hey, I'm gonna just package this up and take this home to my daughter, son, or my kids, I'm cool with that, because that's your meal that I bought for you, so you can do that. But to order another meal to go, to say I'm gonna take this home to my kids, that's a bit much for me. But once again, like you said, maybe it's the women that we pick. Before we go on out a date, did I have the right conversation? Did I take the time to get to know her a little better, to pay attention to her demeanor, her conduct around her friends or my friends, or did we sit down and have a cup of coffee or a soda or something like that and say, she a little too, can I say ghetto?
You already said it.
Well, she a little too, she's different. Let's just say that. So I won't say ghetto, because we have to watch our words nowadays on social media.
It's not a cuss word, so I think you say it.
Okay. I'm just trying to.
She could be a little hood, a little ghetto.
Yeah, hood. There you go.
She could be lacking class.
Right. Lacking class,
But you taking her out on a date, so
yeah,
I'm sure you see these things.
Yeah, like I said, we pay attention. We as men pay attention, and we probably seen the outer, and didn't try to get to know the inner
right
before asking him out on a date. You saw the outer instead of saying, "Hey, what's your name?" And I'd like to get to know you better. When we going to Ruth Chris, and we go to Red Lobster.
I've been dating the wrong man. You taking him to Ruth Chris?
No, I'm just saying. No, that's just no. I'm just throwing that out there, saying, and that's another topic for another day. Trust me, we're going to talk about this, because this generation, and as Kim was talking about, this generation is a little different. And as we continue on in life, you start to see things differently. And we'll talk about the perspective of who's raising you. As a comedian said, who raised you? Okay.
Well, let's be honest. We got a lot of households without fathers. So, but that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah, that's a conversation. Yeah, another conversation for another day. We'll talk about that, because.
But I do want to comment on something you just said. I think dating should be intentional, right?
Right.
For the purpose of marriage. I can't promise that men, when they want to take a woman out, it's because they really want to get to know her better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a problem. Mm-hmm. You might like what you see and then, hey, let me take her to lunch or let me take her to dinner and see what I can get out the deal. Right? So number one, if you're not dating with purpose and intent, that's a problem. Because you would put more time into getting to know this female through phone conversations or text messages to get a good enough vibe to say, you know what? Maybe I don't want to spend my money taking her out to Ruth Chris or Red Lobster because there's just no connection there.
Applebee's.
So, well, right. But I want to know, and again, this could be a conversation for another day. What's the motivation to make men want to take women out? What makes you look at a woman and say, hey, I want to take her to dinner, only to find out that everything that glitters ain't gold?
That's another conversation for another day. Hey, keep that in mind. What you just say about
dating with purpose and intent?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm not a man. I don't know y'all's perspective.
So tell us what it is that you looking for in dating, and what are your
we turn this around on me. Okay.
No.
I can handle it.
I'm just saying. Give me just 3 points. Give me 3 points. Your top 3, right quick.
Mine are a little different because I'm very spiritually motivated, right? So if I meet someone and I'm having conversation with them or getting to know them better, I'm going to seek God. I'm like, okay, God, can I continue having association with this person? Or if they're not for me, just please go ahead and cut them out my life. Okay. Right? So that's for me. Okay. There are certain things that I do initially look for in someone. But, and that's what you want to know?
The look. No. But what I'm saying is, so, what advice would you give some women that are, and men? So we're gonna play both sides here. That you should be looking for when we're talking about generational dating or relationships.
My ultimate advice is, if you're not ready and you don't have pure intentions, don't even waste your time or somebody else's time going on dates or doing anything else that's relationship oriented. Right. Now, I know that's asking a bit much, because we're going to do what we want to do. But that's my honest feeling. Like if you are, again, dating is intended for marriage. That's supposed to be the ultimate goal. If you know you're not ready for that, if you already know that you're not interested in this person in that manner, don't waste their time and yours.
So dating transitions into relationships. Relationship transitions to marriage, right? So we shouldn't skip the dating and go straight to marriage, right? In your opinion?
If God is in it, it can happen quicker than you know.
Okay.
And there's many testimonies that, people that got married only days, weeks, a few months after knowing each other, and decades later, they're still together in a successful relationship.
And that's God sent right there.
That's God sent. That's how you know he's in it. But how many of us are taking the time to find a God sent relationship? Because that's a work in itself. Right. And a lot of us are not healing from relationships, right? We're jumping from one relationship into another to get over the last person. So we have all these rebounds. We're, number one, not taking time to heal. We're not taking time for ourselves. We're not taking time to get to know ourselves, what we really like, what we really want, what we don't want. And again, because I'm spiritually inclined, taking time to further my relationship with God, to make it stronger so that I can hear him when he's making it clear what his will is for my life.
Reevaluate yourself, especially one of those tough relationships that you're heartbroken, or you thought you was in love, but it was lust. So now you, like you said, you know, the next person that comes along, you're in another relationship within 2 weeks, 30 days. And things aren't going to work out because both of y'all are brokenhearted, or both of you all, have not done the work to heal, to be whole in the next relationship. Fresh, breathe, new look, cut your hair. Get a revenge body, you know what I'm saying? Go to the gym. Yeah, go to the gym. Get right with the Lord. Do whatever it is you got to do. New haircut, new hair color. We're gonna talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Cutting y'all hair because it's new, it's fresh, it's weight off your shoulder, as y'all say. No, let me stop. So my next question is this: what boundaries do you consider appropriate for first dates?
In terms of boundaries, I mean, honestly, this probably, I'm sure, exists somewhere in the World Wide Web. But we probably need dating etiquette. What's acceptable, what's not acceptable. Boundaries are, just for me, when I think about going on a date, I think about just, living in the moment, having the experience, not having any expectation of the other person, and just have fun and see what happens. I think, a lot of times we overthink it, and some people are in it to try to get as much as they can. They're getting a meal for themselves and a meal to take home to the kids. Men might be at the table just like, I'll buy this meal and I'll buy the meal for the kids just so I can get what I want. But just go in having no expectations other than, each other or each person having respect for the other person. And I think having respect consists of not trying to be in somebody's wallet just because they're capable of buying a drink for everybody in the restaurant.
Cell phone on the table or off the table?
So I will say, as a single parent, for me, I keep the cell phone on the table. I don't give it attention, but I keep it on the table so that way if my child has an emergency, I'm alerted immediately. I can see the notification as it comes in. So I don't think cell phones out on the table is necessarily a distraction, but if you're in your phone, that's a different story.
Okay. I left my wallet. Can you pay for the meal this time? I got you next time. First date.
I can pay for us, but there might not be a next time. If I'm trying to, if I can determine what your intent is, did you genuinely leave the wallet? Or were you just trying to test me? Were you just trying to get a free meal? I don't know.
Do you think it's appropriate for a woman to ask a man out?
I think so. I don't see anything wrong with it.
And pay?
I don't see anything wrong with that either.
Y'all heard that? She said, because I'm with it. I agree. You ask him out and you pay. Does that make me look less of a man because the woman paid?
No.
Thank you.
While I said that I agree with it, that I think it's acceptable, I personally wouldn't do it because, again, my faith has me believe that he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor with the Lord. And I've learned in my many years of life experience that if a man is not willing to commit, it doesn't matter how much energy, effort, money, resources, time, availability, whatever a woman puts into it. If the man don't want to commit, it's not happening. If he's not ready, if he knows she's not the one, if he still want to play around, whatever the scenario is. So I'm not going to invest all that. I would prefer to have a man show me that he's interested. But that's just me personally. But I honestly don't think there's anything wrong if a woman is feeling led to ask a man out to just go ahead and do it. I haven't had success with it personally. I just want to say that.
We sometimes feel intimidated by you, and you might say, hey, maybe I need to make the first move because, I see him checking me out. And he looks like he's successful Black woman, got her stuff together. She know it, but she digging him, whether it be church, work, or just out in public. And you say, you know what? Let me say hi to this joker, because he seemed like he a little scared. And then that right there might spark it, right? And then you say, okay. And then things tend to happen and you say, well, he ain't asked me out on a date yet. Does that make it like he's not interested?
Well, that's what it seems like. And I'm going to tell you, we went over, you asked me earlier, what are you looking for in a man? If a man is interested in me and he doesn't want to pursue or go after what he wants, that lets me know he's probably not doing that in other areas of life. and I might not be interested. I'm not saying that's the same for.
When you said you was gonna pay, and you was okay with that,
right?
I gave you A+.
It would be
but then
nice though if
now
he said, "Oh no, I can't let you do that. I would love to go out with you and I'll pay."
Right. I mean,
we gotta give him the opportunity. But if he don't bounce back like he's supposed to,
so
that might be a little red flag.
yeah.
But what's the intimidation? Like, because if you're saying a man is not talking to a woman initially because he's intimidated,
Right.
is he not going to still be intimidated or be intimidated more if she comes to him and she's like, "Hey, let me take you out on a date"? That could be intimidating too.
No. I'm not saying let me take it. You say, hey, let's go out sometimes. I think that's fair. I'm not saying, hey, I see you looking at me, but you seem like you're scared. You want to go out on a date with me? No, I'm not
that
saying
sounds like something I would say.
I'm just saying I'm not saying that aggressive approach, but I'm saying a little more, hey, I see you, I notice you. Would you like to go out sometimes, whatever? He might say, well, yeah, sure, I like that.
So what I hear you saying, and I've heard other men say it too, is that sometimes it's nice for you all to know when a woman is interested, so that you're not playing the guessing game and feeling rejected if you ask her dinner and she says no.
My producer, what you got to say about that, producer? I'm saying, yeah, get in the comment box, producer.
I'm just trying to make sure that
I got you.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
100. Keep it 100.
We have a few comments.
Okay, we want to hear this.
From Andre. He says,
Dre, what's up, baby? Chi-town.
He says, women have too many conditions when it comes to first dates, for far beyond what a man would expect. And if he pays you back afterwards, y'all good, right? Why is there no second date if the guy forgot his wallet?
I want to hear this.
Okay, I said it depends on the situation. And I said if I determine that it was a test or a game, because men like to play those, women do too. If I determine the reason was, a reason that I don't want to deal with in the future, then there will be no second date. But if he genuinely forgot it and does something again, what he does next is what determines what I do next. So if he says, hey, I left my wallet at home, but can I cash app you and you pay for the bill? Or can I meet you tomorrow and give you the cash or something like that?
Okay.
Then it lets me see that he's genuine, that this, we all do it a few times in our life. We forget our purse, we forget our wallet, we misplace things, and we go out and hit the streets and like, oh man, I forgot my wallet. Right. It's a normal life occurrence, right? So you can make an exception for that. Understood. But again, it's the intent. And the same thing I said about the female, her intent. The lady you took on the date, what's her intent?
What else you got?
Roland just said, keep it real. And Norma Cruz says, I love these types of topics. So welcome back to the topic.
That's good stuff. I could come back. You're all right with me.
Okay. And vice versa.
So, reflecting on different generations, do men feel pressured by financial expectation in today's dating scene?
So since I'm not a man, I can't definitively answer that, but I would see how they could feel pressure because statistically, women, specifically African-American women, but women as a whole, are more college educated and more successful percentage-wise than men. Okay. So I can see how that might be a little intimidating for a man, or might make a man feel a little unworthy, or have some type of negative thought towards dating someone that might be a little bit more stable in different areas.
Okay. So you're asking me, so I'm going to answer this question. It depends on who it is. When dealing with certain women of a certain caliber, let's say PhD with money, stable, and you want to take this person out, you have to have a different approach to them. You know what I'm saying? You got to let them know. I think as a man, they might think of it if I come to you and say, hey, look, I can't feed you Ruth Chris because I don't have Ruth Chris money, but we can do something else that may be a little more balanced financially. For some women, that may be a turnoff because they're used to eating at the Garrison. I'll just say the Garrison downtown. What's the other place? Anson 11.
Or like a Cafe Central.
Yeah, Cafe Central, Anson 11. And you're
Park
looking
Tavern.
like, okay, I just spent $100 on a steak and potatoes that tastes like steak and potatoes. You know what I'm saying? I just paid $25 for a glass of wine that tastes like Moscato. So, but that's your taste. But that's not my taste. But I want to get to know you. So I'm going to ask you, should I say, well, this is her status. This is what she likes. And I like her. Should I change what I'm doing or who I am to accommodate that type of?
We got two different questions going on. I'm going to get to both of them.
Okay, what I'm saying, we talking, but I'm asking the question that's on here. So you're saying from a man's standpoint, I feel like, so for me, do I feel like that? Yes. But then I'm going to have to look at her and say, you know what? Yeah, she's a little bit out of my not my league, but she's not what I'm looking for because I can't meet those requirements that she's looking for. I'm not going to eat at Anson 11 every Friday and Saturday or order $100 meal. So that's $200 for both of us just to say, I can afford to do that. Just to prove a point, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let you.
I'm gonna address a couple things.
Go ahead and address it.
The first thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna say it loud and clear for everybody.
Say it.
Successful women, I can't speak for all of us, but I have quite a few successful friends, and we will all say the same thing.
Right.
What you have is not necessarily what we're looking for. You all, as men, assume because we're PhDs or we're making six figures or we have this accolade, that accolade, we want you to come to the table with the same thing. No, because I'm going to tell you what, my money can't buy me love. And that's what I need from you. I need to feel love. I need to feel protected. I need to feel like I have somebody on my side, a partner. Okay. Now, granted, I don't, if I have a PhD and you just started, a entry-level job at Burger King, not really doing much and can't really contribute to the household, I'm going to say maybe we're not equally yoked. Okay. We're not on the same level. That's probably somebody else's husband. Let me leave him alone. But again, this also goes back to my point. You might not make as much as I do, or might not have the accolades that I have. But remember, I said, I want a man who's going to show me he's interested and pursue me. If you are bold enough to come to me, knowing that you might not be as financially stable as me or as educated as me, and say, you know what, I'm interested in you. And despite the difference, I still want to take you out on a date. And you show me that you're willing to put in the effort. That's what it takes. For some reason, there's a perception that men have that successful women, we want somebody just as successful. Yes, it's nice, but it's not realistic. And your money, your success can't keep me warm at night like your embrace. You know what I'm saying? It can't keep my anxiety decreased when I know that if something's going on and I'm emotional about it, I can call up my man and he'll give me a listening ear and comfort me. Those are the things we need. But for some reason, y'all think we need y'all to come with six figures and owning a business and this and that and the other. And that is not it.
This is a round
well,
table
you wanted
discussion.
My opinion, right?
No, I'm saying this is a round table discussion. We're going to bring this to the round table. Hey, ladies, men, let's do it. This sounds like a round table discussion to me.
Ooh. So Kevin said he loves her answer. The reset, Andre says, what a woman makes financially is of no importance to a real man. And men could care less when it comes to a woman's education. That is not a dating requirement for us. Submission, cooperation, and respect are what we value. And some of today's women lack proper discernment when it comes to choosing a mate.
Well, I think that's everybody, men and women like discernment, because we're not spending more time with ourselves and with God. But those are all good points, and I agree with them all.
Outstanding. Somebody else has something else? Nope. Okay. Oh, moving right along. But you had more. You want to elaborate a little more, but I mean, you're going deep with it, and we appreciate your feedback because it's great feedback. And I think with the conversation piece, it's going to help us kind of promote more about successful relationships in this generation and past generations and future generations, if I may say, because some people, like you said, social media is kind of killing the generation thing, because it could be educational for some of us to say, that's not what I'm looking for in a man, or that's not what I'm looking for in a woman, or this is acceptable, or this may not be acceptable. Okay. So once again, we talk about that piece. What are your feelings about the part where who's teaching young men and young women about relationships and dating on a dating scene?
It feels like a topic for another day, because we have so many absentee parents and so many parents that probably shouldn't have been procreating and having kids. So that really is an extended topic. But I think, ultimately for me, because of a lack of morals and values in today's society, people are not, thinking the same. They're not acting the same as generations before, with just a little bit more morality, a little bit more wholesomeness. Again, like I keep saying, what's the intent of the date? What is your intent, your true intent? And a lot of people, unfortunately, because of how they were raised, don't always have good intentions.
Understood.
I do want to go back to something that I can't remember, it was Andre or somebody said, what men are looking for in women in terms of submission. And I do personally think that that's a huge problem, but I think it's a problem on both sides. I think women have decided today that we're so strong, we're so independent, and we want to protect our hearts. We want to guard ourselves, our emotions, so that we're not always being hurt because of past experiences, either growing up or, maybe adult relationships. And so we do have these boundaries. We do have these walls up, right? So that presents a problem for the man. But then also it feels like we have less men coming forward that make us feel comfortable being submissive to them, right? Okay. So I think that's an issue that needs to be expanded upon, the submission issue from both angles, because, I know and I can see how men think, some women are difficult to date, and they can be, but that's for various reasons. And we, especially if you're a strong female, you want to feel like there is a strong man or a man strong enough to lead me and guide me. And if a man doesn't show you that, then a woman's going to be less willing to be submissive.
Gotcha. Oof. I've heard that before, so I'm not gonna talk too much on that. Relationships, generational. When we talk about that, I've been told that the new generation of men does not want to be held accountable. Can you just talk to me about that? Because I hear that a lot. Maybe for some of the men that are watching out there can hear that, because I know you heard this before, and I've heard this numerous times when they ask me why am I still single, and they say this to me all the time: "Oh, you don't want to be held accountable." What does that mean?
So for me, and this is based off of my personal experiences, I have, dated a couple men who are just emotionally unavailable. Most of them due to previous traumas, childhood trauma, PTSD from war, and they were just emotionally unavailable. Okay. And when you're emotionally unavailable and you're with a woman who wants you to be emotional with her, that can be hard, right? And you don't want the responsibility of having to share your emotions. There might be other things you don't want to have the responsibility of. You don't want a relationship. And I think oftentimes men get comfortable playing the role of being in a relationship and getting those benefits, knowing that they're not ready and willing to commit. So that's where I agree with, they don't want the accountability.
Okay.
They don't want the whole responsibility of being that committed partner in a committed relationship, because it takes so much from them. And they would rather just take what they can get.
Okay. Okay. How does the portrayal of women on social media influence the dating expectations of men?
Let me just say this, because I am not on social media like this.
Mhm.
I wish women would get off there always being half naked and trying to promote their bodies. And I know men love to see it, right? But we're so much more than that.
Okay.
So much more than that. And I think social media just puts out this portrayal of women being a certain way. And it's not always about the bodies. I see some women on there that are very aggressive, or it's just, and these are the people we focus on. And they don't speak for the whole female race, and so the representation that we have on social media is not good representation. And then people only show you on social media what they want you to see.
Okay.
And I'm just going to be honest. I have several friends that their physical health is in their trash. Their mental health is in the trash, but they going to make it look like they live in a life on social media. Right. And other people are sitting here scrolling, through Facebook, Instagram, whatever they're using. And they're going to see, oh, these women have these great bodies. These women are, always at the beach or having a man always take them on vacation. And that's just not real life. Right. Those are the limited people you see on social media that don't account for the whole population. So I think it negatively impacts our perception of ourselves and our relationships. Because you might see somebody's getting 24 roses every week and expect that to be a relationship norm for your relationship, but your man can't afford that. Right? We need to do what's best for us, not what other people are doing. You know, the old saying, why are you trying to keep up with the Smiths and the Joneses?
Right.
That's what happens with social media.
Right. Oh, yeah, I would agree with that. I think it influences a lot of things. And it's like, you want that. So you're looking for that in a relationship. On a dating scene, you expect me to come with 12 dozen roses, long stem roses on the first date. But I'm trying to get to know you. So that's what you expect, and it's not going to happen. I mean, I think it depends on the person. If I see that in you and like the first time I met you, my legs were shaking or whatever the case may be, I'm just saying, I'm like, yo, this woman gonna be my wife. We as men, I think, and I think Andre can attest to this. When we see somebody as men, and I'm just speaking for me, that's gonna be your wife. Conversations at the cigar lounges, we as men talk about these things. I knew when I met my wife the first time, she was the one. Like, how'd you know, bro? He was like, man, my heart was beating fast when I saw her. My leg, I couldn't even walk. I just stared at her. And she was like, finally, she just said, why are you staring at me? And then y'all might think it's corny, but we come up with something corny to make you smile or laugh, and like, I knew I had her, So we as men, I think that we do make the attempt, and sometimes when we get the the shutdown or the I'm not ready for all that or something like that, it kind of be like, oh man, well I tried, but I'm too tired to pursue. And I think that's another conversation for another day, because once again, on social media, I watch some TikTok videos and Instagram, and men are voicing their opinion on, why we're not pursuing the woman anymore, or why we're not looking to date anymore. So those are the conversations like you talked about. I think that we just kind of tired, man. To me, I'm
sorry.
I'm just saying.
Y'all tired of playing games, or what y'all tired of?
But you saying the social media thing, and the women come with like you said, the impact of social media. This is what they want. They want you to, oh, you know, they want me to take them on it. Well, no, not me.
Who wants you to take them on a date?
Not me. No. I'm saying like a trip. To like you saying, oh, well, I'm going to, I don't know, not Cuba, but Puerto Rico on a trip or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They want to live that lifestyle, and like you're saying, that's not reality. You know, I'm going on a trip. We just met. I'm getting to know you. I'm not taking you on a trip with me because it might be a situation where things didn't happen the way it's supposed to happen, and you sitting at the airport talking about where my ticket at. I ain't buying no ticket. Y'all seen that on TikTok a couple times, but you know that's something. I'm not gonna speak for them.
I do have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you gave the example of Andre who said he knew it was his wife as soon as he saw her, right?
Right.
And some men, because you all are visual, and according again to research, you all fall in love physically first before you tap into emotions or socially in terms of women. Okay. Do you see how that can be a hindrance? Because you get so fixated on how somebody looks and you pursue that person again, and there's red flags, but you're just so into her BBL or her breast or whatever it is, right? You don't want to see past that. All you picture is having a good time with her, right? And having arm candy. But could that not be the downfall of
arm candy is somebody that
you know what they
on your arm candy. Eye candy. We call it eye candy. She said arm candy. We call it eye candy.
Because you know, back in the day, my old Southern girl, when a man had a pretty lady on his arm, she would be arm candy.
Right. And they wasn't even compatible. He just wanted her because of, you know, she looked real nice.
Because she looked good.
Yeah.
But how often does that get y'all in trouble?
She's trying to put me on the spot. But yeah, whatever.
You don't want to invest in a woman. Like let's say you have a friend who's in the hospital for an extended amount of time, right? Okay. And she has a really sweet nurse that comes in that's single. She might be a little out of shape, you know. She comes to work maybe with her scrubs on, looking frumpy. That don't mean we can't work with her. If because let me tell you, one thing that you can't do is give a person a good heart.
Right.
You can change the physical appearance. You can take your girl to the gym. You can buy her that BBL. You can do whatever it is you need to change her physically.
Buy the BBL.
Don't act like men ain't paying for BBLs. Because I know a handful of them.
Okay.
We should be investing that money in businesses or something for generational wealth, but that's a topic for another day.
Okay.
Because somebody would rather, you know, have a nice shape to trap a man with that's going to buy her all these things that she could get on her own if she was independent. But let me leave that alone.
Dr. Burnell.
Listen, I quit school because they had recess. I didn't come to play with them.
Okay.
So the reset, Andre again. Andre's loving this topic.
Hey, Andre.
So is Langston. He said he loves the topic. He said, we are tired of women having expectations far beyond what they are able to provide for themselves. And then based off what you said, he said, nope, first attraction is nature. Don't blame us, blame God.
Blame God. You said you heard that?
Right. Again, so I'm not saying that first attraction isn't nature. I'm saying it is because y'all are physical creatures, right? But the problem is after that initial attraction, y'all are seeing the red flags, but you still decide to stay because you're so infatuated with what something looks like. Okay. So that's why we're having unsuccessful relationships, because we're refusing to stay with people that we know we're not compatible with just because, and it might not be for the looks. Right. You know, for women, oftentimes they stay with men for the money. They don't want to be there, but they don't want to lose the benefit of the money.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So again, it goes back to what our intent. Are we dating for marriage? Because if we are, then we know if we're looking for that Proverbs 31 woman, it don't really matter. Beauty fades, right? What about the heart? If you're not physically attracted, don't force yourself. But I'm just saying, don't ignore the red flags either, just because somebody looks good.
Okay. But if they can't cook.
Oh, that's half the generation. That's over half.
Well, that's the new
I don't
generation.
think
They
I
can't
know
cook.
many people
Yeah,
who
the
can
new
cook.
generation can't
Period.
cook. Yeah, my daughter told me. I said, "Well, you're gonna have to learn how to cook food." She said, "I know how to clean the house." So, hey, we gonna eat sometime, but we gonna eat out. I tried. I said I tried.
But just telling her to learn how to cook is not trying enough.
Well,
You
I
got to
showed
get
her.
her in
Right.
the kitchen.
Yeah,
I have to force my daughter, like, hey, we're gonna work on these oxtails today. I'm gonna show you how to cook them.
That's a little
We're
hard.
gonna do.
We're supposed to fry chicken. You know we like chicken.
Okay,
Fry some little wingettes. You got to
we
start with
gonna
the little
do. We do
wingettes
chicken too,
and the crab velvet mac
and mashed
cheese.
potatoes from scratch, and
Yeah.
spaghetti. You know,
Yeah, that's
just all
easy
this
stuff, but that's time
right.
consuming.
But you have to take the time out to teach. How did those who came before the new generation learn? They were in the kitchen with their mama, their grandmamas.
Yeah, right. I got you. Yeah, come talk about.
Are we investing into our children? But that goes back to who are we dating? Children that weren't invested into. Somebody's son and somebody's daughter who wasn't invested into.
Right. I understand. Okay, here's a question that came to us. So, men out there, if you can help me out with this one, because it says, to the men listening, is romantic love truly the foremost desire in your life? Is romantic love truly the foremost desire in your life? Roland, my man, Roland.
I'm ready to hear this. Roland, what you got?
Roland, I know you out there, man. Help me out with this one. The question is romantic love truly the foremost desire in your life? Romantic love.
Romance sounds like work, and that's the accountability the men don't want.
What? Romance. What is romance to you?
Romance is work. Romance is showing up to your lady's job or your man's job with a dozen roses just because I want to say I love you. No special occasion. It's not your birthday. It's not our anniversary.
What
I
about
just want you
Chick-fil-A?
to love. We can do Chick. Oh, you want extra fries?
What on your job? What a lemonade? What a on a palm or something?
That works
too. I was
too.
thinking about you, girl.
Exactly.
Just make sure you was eating.
That's romancing somebody.
Okay.
Taking them out on a surprise date, even if you don't go anywhere, if you just go in a scenic view to look out.
What about a picnic in the park with some fresh?
Oh, don't play with me.
with some strawberries.
That was very romantic, and I appreciate the gentleman that did that for me. If you're listening, I appreciate you.
She telling her herself. I didn't say no name. I ain't saying nobody. I just asked a question.
It was very much appreciated. Unfortunately, that didn't work out, but it was very much appreciated.
I didn't say no names.
But I'm gonna be honest with you.
I want her to throw that out and say that was romantic. Feed you with, the Cool Whip with the rose.
Again, I didn't come here to play with people. I'm being honest. And that's another reason why relationships are failing, because people not being honest with themselves or the other person. But I did have a very romantic gesture occur, and I didn't know how to take it because you know what? I'm not used to being romanced. I wonder why.
Because you ain't had God in your life.
Oh, don't play with me. Okay. He is number one.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So we talking romance and love.
Are we waiting on somebody to answer did anybody chime in?
Is it truly the foremost desire in your life? For men, I would say we're kind of, and I'm just speaking for me, you got to be careful. The beauty, the looks, the smile. Y'all saw the smile? Sometimes they get you with this smile, boy. You be like, this the one. And you feel your little heart beating too fast, or your legs, you can't even move, and you just want to talk to her, but you say this could be the one. Yeah. I'll even share the last piece of chicken. You can have the last piece. Does that romantic?
Listen, I ain't never made a man weak in the knees or have him share his last piece of chicken. So I've been doing something wrong.
Lord have mercy. Hey, listen.
That is romantic.
Ladies, if I let you eat off my plate, I'm being romantic because I don't like people eating off my plate. Eat your own food. If you order something, listen, order what you want. Don't order what I want. Stay out my plate. I'm not going to ask you for what you got. Eat, and then maybe next time I might say, well, try this. What Roland said? Talk to me.
Roland said that is an individual need or want. It has a lot to do with where you are at as a person.
Okay. Yeah, it's good
Langston
stuff.
said romance is important.
Yeah, I think so. I think with romance, to sweep them off their feet, to do the small gestures, the small little things. But I think the conversation piece with the two individuals to say, what do you like?
Mm-hmm.
The conversation part. I think the conversation part is the most important. The conversation piece leads to the romance and the love. I don't think you should just. But if that's you, some guys are just like that. They're sweet. They brought up right. They say, well, on the first date you should bring the roses. On this, I like the spontaneousness in transitioning into the relationship. Like you said, you got an hour lunch.
Mm-hmm.
You work wherever you work, and you say, hey, meet me at the park, and we could just have a salad and just talk. You know what I'm saying? And getting to know each other, and then to me that's romantic because you took the time out of your busy schedules to give you the time. Like you said, it's about time for some people. Some people say my love language is time.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say my love language is conversation.
You making up love language?
I'm just saying. That's true.
Quality time is one love language. Yeah. Gifts are another.
Gifts.
Words of affirmation.
What you got?
So Kevin Harris says, I really don't think a lot of Black men know what romance is. Many men will do what they need just to have a great night. And Roland says, what is romance really?
So I just based off of what Kevin and I think it was Langston had said, it is individual, right? Mm-hmm. But as I said, going back to one of my initial points, when you are dating for purpose with the intent of marriage, when you feel like you are ready to settle down, then I think you're ready for romance. If you're not at that stage yet, you might just, as Langston says, just be going through the motions to get what you can get, right? So, Kevin, sorry. It might. Oh, no, that was Langston. It might not be, you might just be doing romantic things without the intent of actually romanticizing a woman to further the relationship, right? So it really just depends on where a man is in his life. Like, for example, I had a gentleman friend of mine tell me he's in his mid-40s, never been married before. He was like, I feel like I'm ready to settle down now. So whatever he did prior to with women taking him out on dates or whatever, knowing he wasn't ready, that's one thing. But I'm sure as he moves forward and he pursues women now, it's going to be a different case. And if he finds one that he likes, that he's more or less interested in, he probably is going to romanticize her.
You have something else?
Andre says, true. We suck at romance. I guess he's saying men do. Is that true? Is that true?
You know how I couldn't accept it because I hadn't seen it before?
So I'm going to speak. I'm going. When you say we suck at romance, I'll say I do now, because I know what women want, because I've been around a lot of women having female friends, and they talk around me and they say what they're looking for. However, like not Shantae, Kim said, like Kim said, I've tried those things in the past, and it's not for everybody. The romantic thing, like the lunch thing, the flowers, the romantic gestures, you know what I'm saying? For me, consistency is what is an icebreaker for me when it comes to romance and love. Consistency. Because just like a man, a woman does the same thing. They do certain things to get you, but the consistency, once I'm there now, and I'm using the word love, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I love you because you said you love me, but I was like, am I really to say that word love? We doing the pedicure things together. Hey, come on, what you doing? Well, let's go out, let's hang out. And then I take you to the spa, and we're doing the spa day together, your romantic thing. You know, I'm sending you the edible arrangements to your job or whatever. But then now I'm there and we're in a relationship. Now it's like, oh, well, yeah, I don't feel like cooking today. Let's go out and eat. And messed up with this one. I'm just saying. Now you don't want to cook.
I do want to say my feeling that is if God is in it, the romance on both sides will never stop.
You're right. So we're going to go to church on Sunday. Right? We'll go to church on Sunday.
I don't know how to deal with you today.
And on Monday, I don't feel like cooking. I'm just saying. You know, if y'all know Curtis, I like to eat. So that's my big thing. You know, hey, you don't have to take me out. But the generation now, you try to tell the communication piece. Mm-hmm. Hey, you know, I can't take you to Ruth Chris, but I can smother you some pork chops and gravy. Come on by the house.
I have a question about that.
Or some shrimp and grits, you know, or some okra soup with some rice and fried chicken. No,
I just want to, because I want to get your perspective, and maybe somebody online will chime in too. I like to cook, right? Mm-hmm. It's therapeutic for me. When I'm in the kitchen, that's my time to not think about all the stress of the world. Mm-hmm. And I know that I'm going to make something that's going to make somebody else happy, right? Not everybody wants to cook. Not everybody knows how to cook. Just want to put that out there. But what I want to know is, y'all expect us to go to these 6-figure jobs, have all these accolades, take care of the kids, and come home and cook every day?
No, we don't expect that, because we, as some Black men, can cook. Our grandmothers and mothers taught us how to cook. Some of our mothers taught us, hey, don't wait for the woman to cook for you. Go in the kitchen and cook for yourself or your family, because your hands ain't broke. That's what my grandmama told my uncle one day when he came home and said his wife didn't cook for him. She said, is your hands broke? You know how to cook. So I paid attention to that conversation piece. And like you said, I was in the kitchen with my grandmother, my aunties, and watched what they was doing and said, okay, that's how you do this stuff. Or certain things I can make from scratch, certain things I can't make from scratch. However, no, I don't expect that. And I don't think any man or woman should expect that. That if you're, you know, doing all that stuff, I think it's a shared experience. And you know, going to church and putting God first in your life, I think will enhance your foundation and make your relationship stronger. But I do still reflect on what Andre said about submissiveness and being committed to each other, and consistency in the relationship will help the generational dating scene. You know, I don't think a lot of people understand that anymore. And it's about, like Kevin was saying, what we can get out of the relationship. Mm-hmm. You know, what can I get out of this? Yeah, she's going to be a piece of work, but let me see how far, or what do I need to do to get what I want out of this relationship. And then once I'm done, I'm moving on, because I really don't want a relationship. I'm looking at the outer part and not the inner part.
I want to know also an honest answer. How many times are we seeking God after we meet a woman that looks good and we want to invest in?
Well, how many times have y'all invited us to church and say, hey, you know, I go to so-and-so church. Would you like to go to church with me?
Well, okay, so I'm the wrong person to ask about that, because I think the best thing you can do as a friend to somebody is pray for them and ask them to go to church with you. Yeah, like if I care about you as a person, or you're in my life.
We talking about relationships.
And
you're saying about God and putting God in the relationship. So
when we get to that point, still dating, it's not gonna be the first date, but if we go on multiple dates, you know, like, hey, would you like to go to church with me? Okay. That doesn't necessarily we're gonna be together, but I feel like I did my job as a Christian, right? God put somebody new in my life. Okay. My ultimate job on this earth is to bring others closer to God. That's my ultimate job. That's number one, to serve him and bring others to him. Okay. Right? So why not ask somebody? It would be the same thing I ask my friends, my female friends. Hey, you want to go to church with me? No difference. If we are creating a bond in a relationship.
How long is your church?
My church. Well, listen, my pastor from Georgia, shout out to Freedom of Faith Ministries, So, you know,
From Georgia.
we be in there from
Southern,
Georgia.
She a Southern church.
Listen,
Southern
I love
preacher.
my Southern pastors. I'm not even gonna lie. I need to be
So
able
the
to
praise
catch
and worship team get the praise and
Holy
worship
Spirit.
for 45 minutes before church.
Well, first off, that's an important part of worship.
Praise
Praising
the praise team.
Praising Lord.
30 minutes. 45 minutes before the service starts.
It is important and essential to the overall worship experience with the Lord.
You got to get the oil started.
Hello.
Okay.
What do you think you think the slaves didn't have? You didn't think it was?
Well, yeah,
singing?
they had a little. Yeah,
Right.
They had the songs motivated them in the fields as they worked. I got that.
Even when they had services on Sundays.
Okay.
Yeah, they were praising Lord too.
But you ain't asked the question how long church is.
My church is usually a good 2 hours.
Yeah.
But you get so caught up in the word, you can't.
Right.
You don't even want to
Praise
leave.
God. 2 hours. Okay.
That's not a bad. Listen, there is no amount of time that's too much for God. As much as He blesses us and loves
to the
us,
early service.
2 hours on a Sunday is the least we can give you.
9 o'clock service.
Well, we do 10 o'clock, but you're invited.
No. Okay.
Curtis,
Thank
if
you.
you would
Thank
like
you.
to come to Freedom of
Thank
Faith
you.
Ministries.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So the recent Andre said Christians are the most divorced. Next.
That's probably my
Thank
group.
you.
That's probably
Thank
my group
you.
in the military
Thank you.
that
What?
you mean.
Oh,
You know,
stop
military has the highest divorce rate.
Well,
I'm
that's
getting ready
true
PCS.
because-
Let me marry you right quick and get this BAH.
Yeah.
Marrying for all the wrong reasons. I wouldn't say Christians have the highest divorce rate.
So a few more comments. Another one from Andre. We don't expect you not to have all of the accolades mentioned. I think that was from before.
Mm-hmm.
We could care less. That's only important to you. Roland says the gender roles and expectations have not evolved with time.
Which is what I was saying. You know, before the man would go to work, that would be his responsibility to pay the bills, and the woman would stay home, raise the children. She'd have dinner on the table when the man and the kids got home. Those were the roles. But since unfortunately we live in a society and an economy that doesn't usually, and you know, if you don't want to be robbing Peter to pay Paul, to have a successful life where we're financially stable, usually both people in the marriage have to work, right?
Yeah. In this generation because of.
So I'm just saying the women are going to work. We're raising the kids. You know, we're spending a lot of time with the children after work, after school.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's still the expectation of us to do this, do that, right? What is our expectation of you all when you get home? We don't say, hey, why don't you have dinner on the table for us?
If I get home first and we have that relationship, that will
exactly. What you were mad because we went to church on Sunday and came home on Monday, didn't have no food cooked. You were mad. So I was just trying to figure it out.
You can eat leftovers.
Exactly. Sunday leftovers are always good.
But you ain't gonna cook on Sunday. That's your day off. We done went to church, but we ain't gonna go there.
Some people cook on Sunday.
I'm old school, so hey, look, Sunday we could be in the kitchen together, or you could be in the kitchen and I'm watching the football or basketball game and you make it happen. And then Monday we can eat leftovers, and Tuesday.
I was just saying, don't be mad at her because you didn't get dinner on Monday.
Because she don't cook on Monday because she got a 6-figure job, right? She done work.
Well, you know, usually, let's be honest, 6-figure jobs come with a little bit more responsibility.
And even though they work from home now, hello.
Yeah, but if you're making money working from home, you can't be like, you can't tell your supervisor, oh, hey, I need to put you on hold for the next 2 hours because I got to go cook dinner for my family.
Okay, you win. I'm gonna give you this one. All right.
Well, thank you.
All right. Any more questions out there? Any more comments? Because we're about to let Miss Kimberly continue on her beautiful Sunday.
I'm gonna go find something to eat.
Yeah, because we want
I didn't cook today, but I usually cook on Sunday.
Angela,
put that out there.
Angela.
Listen, Angela. Let me tell you something. Angela gets good cooking. Okay, and I want to reference this.
Okay.
Shout out to all my people from Charleston, South Carolina, because that's where my family is from, and that's how I learned to cook. And we got some of the best food I've ever eaten.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I know.
Can Can I get amen for that?
Amen. That's right.
So my baby is learning how to cook Charleston style.
That's good. Because them Roger Woods sauces be busting.
Yeah, we El Paso, we need to get Roger Woods along with a Cheesecake Factory for my man to take me out on a date. The man I don't have yet, but I like cheesecake.
We're working on it. Cheesecake Factory is actually coming to El Paso.
I've been hearing that for years.
Yeah, but it's actually coming. I think they're going to put it on the west side. We spoke about that at the city council meeting. Development department. We spoke about that. Cheesecake Factory is coming, but they're going to put it either on the west side or the far east side, where y'all already have stuff. So
rich staying rich.
Yeah.
And I just want to know. I know that Cheesecake Factory made that list for some women. Like, don't take me on a date there, fellas. If you want to take me on a date, I am perfectly fine with Cheesecake Factory or any other place on that list. Thank you. I'm just appreciative.
There is one other question. Someone wants to know, and that was it. Why are you still single?
Why are you still single, Shantae? I mean, yeah, you Shantae today.
Yeah.
That's for Shantae. You're going to be Shantae right
Okay,
now.
so as I'm healing and working on my own personal journey, I realized that I had a lot of childhood trauma that affected the way that I loved and received love. So I put myself in a lot of bad relationships that I don't want to say I wasn't supposed to be in. I was in those relationships for a reason, and I learned some great lessons that have brought me to where I am now. And now I'm just waiting for God to send who He has for me.
Praise God.
I'm taking you to church with me.
I'm gonna be late. I'm just being real with you.
You can't even be on time for the Lord.
I'm gonna be on time for the Lord.
But you be on time for your dates.
After the 45-minute praise and worship team finish, I'll be walking in telling me, yes, let me get the word.
Okay, we'll see you at 10:45.
Let me get the word. I'll text you, praise and worship team almost finished.
I'll
and
say
you
yes.
say, fool, where you at? And I'm gonna say, waiting on the praise and worship team to get finished.
We got a good praise and worship
know
team.
y'all
Though. They
do.
can sing.
I believe you. 45 minutes song. Nothing wrong with church, y'all. I'm just saying.
That you need the Lord.
Facebook, I appreciate you. I appreciate Facebook and everybody going live on Facebook. Yeah. So, hey, anything before we let you go? You got anything for the people? Because I know they enjoy this conversation, and we're going to keep this going up about this relationship thing. But we're going to have some men on here to talk about the same thing: expectations, the new generational relationship, dating theme, and maybe we'll bring it to the Black Roundtable. So let us know what you think. And we remember, hey, this Sweet 915, no topic is taboo, and we're definitely looking forward to some people wanting to be on the show to talk about these certain topics. You know, we're open to all discussions. You got something else? Someone
had another comment, and that's modern women want a traditional man. Make it make sense.
Modern women want a traditional man.
I guess that's for the next show.
Modern women want traditional men.
Without bringing traditional values themselves to the relationship.
Traditional values? What are you talking about?
Well, he's saying, so what we were talking about, the gender roles,
okay,
right? So he's saying that a modern woman wants to be able to come home and not cook, not clean, whatever, but she still wants her man to take out the trash, take her car to be washed, and do whatever the male role is, even though she might not be fulfilling the female role. And it's true. I can't deny it, but I think it's on both sides, because women look at new generation men like, oh, they ain't building them the same. He wasn't built like my daddy. Shout out to Carl Burnell Sr. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I
don't know how to change the time, so I'm gonna
I want to say this. I want to say this, and I told this to a guy who wanted to date me, right? Told me he wanted to be with me, but he wanted to move into my house, split everything 50-50. And I'm fine with that.
Move into your house?
Right. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just making it, I'm setting an example.
Move into your house. Okay, got it. Red flag. Go ahead.
Listen, you know, I'll be having nice houses.
I got that, but moving in your house.
Okay, I'm just saying.
The man moving to your house.
Listen, I'm trying to give you the example.
Okay,
You want it?
but he fixing his mouth to say that, moving to your house.
Exactly. So
Okay.
listen to my rebuttal.
Got you. Talk to him.
I said, and again, this is situational. Of course, I don't mind going 50-50 with my man or even paying more if I'm making more. That's just our personal relationship. But what I did see growing up, my father had diabetes very bad. When he was 44, he lost his vision. He ended up getting a kidney transplant a few years later, and then a few years after that, getting a leg amputated, right? He could not work. But guess what? He still paid all the bills in the house. Now, if you without life, limb, and eyesight, I shouldn't say life, but you without limb and eyesight, and you can still make sure that your woman and your kids are taken care of. He still bought me a car when I was graduating high school. He wasn't working. He bought my sister the same thing. My brother, that's a different story because he made him work for it. You know what I'm saying? He made him buy his own car. But I'm just saying that's the example that I saw. Right. So I can't make any excuses for any man who's like, oh, well, you pay most of the bills or let's go 50-50. Let me move in with you. Let me drive your car. Like my dad was from the school of the hard knocks. So that's what I saw.
He was such,
growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to make an excuse for a man when that was the role model I had.
Gotcha.
Just saying.
So we thank you for coming today on Sweet 915.
Thank you for
having me. No topic is taboo, but what do you want to say to the people before we get out of here about our topic of the day? Just
make sure that if you legitimately want to be in a relationship, if you feel ready, that you've done the work to heal, don't play with people because it's going to come back to bite you in the butt. Do what is best for yourself and others in your life at all times. Just try to be the best version of yourself every day.
Gotcha.
That way you can avoid a lot of this drama and you can move on with purpose in your life and feel fulfilled.
Outstanding. Thank you for that. And thank you for the conversation piece today. I think you put out a lot of good information and made some of us think about our choices in relationships and on the dating scene for the generations then, now, and to come. All right. So thank you again. Before we leave, we have a few announcements we'd like to talk about. We got some great events coming up in El Paso. The weather is getting warm. So my thing is, hey, get out there, go check out some of the things that's going on. The first thing we have is the Fly Event Promotions. Right? They have two events coming up. Saturday, March 23rd at 4 p.m. The founder, Ms. Brandy Weiss, invites models to find out more about the modeling industry and will cover various topics for their self-representation and personal branding to safety and security. The seminar is free, and open to men and women ages 18 and older and youth ages 13 to 17. Accompanied by a parent or guardian. Free food will be provided. Free food will be provided by Joe Ruiz. Okay. Well, that's on him. All right. Okay. Follow them at social media at Fly Event Promotions or visit flyeventpromotions.com. Also, Fly Event presents the 8th annual Know Yourself, Know Your Worth Fashion Show. Know Your Worth Fashion Show. The Renaissance featured designers is Ella Nigram, who is originally from Cameron. Ella is quickly becoming a local favorite in the fashion industry here in El Paso. Tickets, vendors, information, and advertising is available. Visit flyeventpromotions.com for more information on signing up a designer or retailer. That's why Miss Fedora does the announcements, y'all, because I be messing up these names and stuff like that.
I was going to say, we have to practice that.
Yeah. Okay, April 6th is a busy but great day. You know what month that is? It's the Aries month. Yes, sir. Yeah, the El Paso Black Business Network is excited to invite you to our upcoming quarterly session. We're all about building a dynamic community of Black entrepreneurs, business professionals, and mutual supporters, and we want you to be a part of it. Special guest speaker is U.S. Army veteran and CEO of the local YWCA, Sanika Barlow. There will also be a panel discussion. Seating is limited. There's no fee. Donations are accepted via Cash App, $EPBBN, or if another way is preferred, feel free to contact us at elpasoblackbusiness@gmail.com or 915-209-1850. The El Paso Commission for Women honor women who will be inducted into the Women's Hall of Fame, and we congratulate none other than Miss Monica Tucker of Mocha Enterprises, who will be inducted into the Women's Hall of Fame this year. Congratulations to Miss Monica Tucker. It's on April 6th at noon. For more information, visit elpasocommissionforwomen.org, honored along with other amazing El Paso women. And then financial fireside chat. Former Fort Bliss First Lady Karen Twitty will be providing a phenomenal informational session on finances. You don't want to miss it, whether you need help budgeting or you are cash heavy and need solid ways on what to do with it. Come on and find out how. For more information, contact Miss Monica Tucker at monica@blackelpasovoice.com. Also, again, Fly Events presents the 8th annual Know Your Worth fashion show, The Renaissance. Featured designer is Ella Nongrum, who is originally from Cameroon. My apologies. That's why Miss Fedora does that. Because, and once again, Ella is quickly becoming a local favorite in the fashion industry in here in El Paso. Also in attendance, the brother-sister fashion duo from Imperial Legacy Clothing will feature. They will choose one model from the event to attend New York Fashion Week with them in September. Tickets, vendors, information, and advertisement is available. Visit flyeventpromotions.com for more information on signing up as a designer or retail. Nicole Hector is a facialist and self-care aficionado. Fedora's not here.
She's not allowed to not be here ever again.
What you said the word was? Alfredo?
She said aficionado.
Aficionado. There you go. Who invites you to her annual session. Sorry, Nicole. My apologies. Sorry, along with other soiree.
You are just hearing those over here.
Along with other offering personalized service, Nicole is also the 2023 and the first Black El Paso Voice Pinnacle Award recipient, as she embodies business and community. The self-care soiree 2024 takes place May 19th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They are looking for sponsors, collaborators, vendors, and exhibitors in the health, wellness, and beauty industries, as well as those who support holistic wellness initiatives. You don't have to be local to El Paso. They have plenty of ways you can collaborate with them on this event. Visit Amazing Event. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at OPULENTSKIN Suite.
Opulent Skin Suite.
Opulent Skin Suite. My apologies again. Every Friday, my man Ryan Adams features Black history with a focus on generational wealth. In addition, Ryan is leading the charge to bring a chapter of Asal, ASALH here. So we encourage you to contact him at bewaretheday@gmail.com for more information on how you can be involved in elevating Black history in El Paso. Save the date. Hey, save the date. We're going to say this again. Save the date. Juneteenth takes place on June 15th at Tobin Park. More information will be released this week regarding volunteers, vendors, entertainment, and more. Email juneteenthelpaso@gmail.com for more information. For more information on the current political climate and who is running, visit.
Elections are coming up.
Elections are coming up, so check out the EP County votes and visit elpasomatters.org. They have comprehensive voters guide, so please check out the link. There will be the comment section. Black business, submit your listings at no cost on El Paso blackpages.com. It is El Paso's official Black business directory. Black businesses, please, please, please put your name in the book. It's free. I mean, we know you're here, so just share your information to enhance your marketing. Black Information Exchange. The Black Information Exchange is available for you to submit your information. Visit blackinformationexchange.com. Next show, come check out Suite 915. If you want a topic, if you want us to talk on a specific topic, please email us at suite915 at gmail.com. Okay, so follow us. The next show will be April 7th. Follow us on social media. The real suite915 at gmail.com. Remember, no topic is taboo. If you have any topics you would like for us to discuss, or if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us and we'll bring those topics to the forefront and talk about it. So thanks again. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you again, Miss Kimberly, for coming on the show. And hey, y'all have a good Sunday. Thank you.